Both Ilhan Omar and Marjorie Taylor Greene are potentially this week going to be the targets of censure resolutions. So they're going to be filed supposedly this week, admonishing them for remarks that critics say were anti-Semitic or inappropriate. But two different women, two different remarks. So we've been talking about Marjorie Greene and her saying that being forced to wear a mask is like being sent to Auschwitz, which seems crazy. I shouldn't have to say why. But what about Ilhan Omar? Well, interestingly, in this case, the same representative is putting the censure resolutions and getting involved in the process of both. You have Representative Brad Schneider, a Democrat. Tomorrow, supposedly, he's going to have his resolution condemning and censuring Marjorie Greene. But separately, last week, we talked about this letter. He was part of a group of House Democrats who were criticizing Ilhan Omar, accusing her of giving cover to terrorists and suggesting her remarks reflect a deep-seated prejudice. So her remarks were that effectively, many groups have committed war crimes and atrocities. The Taliban, Hamas, but also the United States and Israel, which is an objective fact. I apologize if facts are inconvenient sometimes, that's the nature of them. But she is being attacked for that. Now, Greene has been criticized, and not just by Democrats and the damage report and stuff like that. She was condemned by Mitch McConnell, by House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. He said she's wrong. Her intentional decision to compare the horrors of the Holocaust with wearing masks is appalling. So that's good, that they actually finally found something that she said that was bad. But they're also trying to draw some sort of parity with Ilhan Omar. And Kevin McCarthy said today that he would bar progressive Ilhan Omar or anybody that has an anti-Semitic, anti-American view. She criticized Hamas and the Taliban in literally the same statement, from serving on the House Committee of Foreign Affairs if Republicans take back the majority in 2022. And she would just be the beginning, I think, Wosny. I think that since Marjorie Greene was stripped from her committees for a billion bat-esque crazy statements, if they get back into control, I mean, God only knows how little you'll have to say for you to be taken off out of your committees.
Yeah, I mean, this is the right wing. This is the reactionary sector of our government, and this is what they do. It's funny to compare what Ilhan Omar said to Marjorie Taylor Greene is hilarious on its face, and it's always this need to quote unquote balance out our sort of discourse, right? Well, there's a Republican version of ridiculousness, of actual insanity, and we have to we have to figure out a way to say, no, but there's a democratic form of it too. And it's Ilhan Omar, talking about the bombing of Cambodia and Laos, or the terrible atrocities from Central America with the Sandinistas, or the countless coups that the CIA has backed of democratically elected governments, or the 500,000 brown people who died in Iraq, or we can just keep going and going and going. Like, to point that out is somehow anti-American, or that means you're not a patriot. To point out that the United States too has carried out numerous atrocities over many years all over the globe, from Africa to wherever, it's just so freaking stupid. It's just about objectivity, both siderism run amok.
100% to claim this, like, she is stating a fact. They've all committed war crimes, all of them. That's just reality. Whereas Marjorie Greene said the Holocaust is like being forced to wear a mask, which is wrong. It's not like that. You know what the Holocaust is like? Two things. First of all, nothing. Second of all, well, if millions of people are killed in another campaign targeting different groups, then that will be like the Holocaust. But other than that, nothing. So she was wrong, and Ilhan Omar was saying a fact that people don't like. And there is nothing the right likes more than attacking people for making them think thoughts that hurt their brain. So anyway, we're gonna have to see what happens with it. Nancy Pelosi says that the House leadership hasn't rebuked Ilhan Omar over her comments, and her putting that out today might be an indication that they're not gonna be supportive of some sort of censuring or an attempt to take her out of her committee meetings. We'll have to see about that. I am curious what you all think though. So we do have a poll. You can go to tyt.com/polls. The question is, will the Democrats come to the defense of Representative Ilhan Omar against GOP attacks. The specific link is tyt.com/poll/Omar-under-attack. I have my worries. I think that the Democrats love to show how reasonable they are by throwing their own under the bus when it's not warranted. They've done it in the past. They've done it in the past with Ilhan Omar. So we'll have to see. I am very worried about it. I'm also worried about what's going to happen with Representative Omar if and when the Republicans retake the majority. So we'll have to see about that.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.